Good morning and welcome to Rose Red Homestead. We are very grateful to have you with us this morning and appreciate your time. This is getting to be kind of a busy time of year going into the holiday season, and we know your time is very precious, and so we extra appreciate your watching our videos while you're rushing around doing other things as well. Quite often we like to feature a recipe where we just pull things from our food storage so that you can see how easy it is when you are prepared to be able to put something together that is great for your family and easy to do because you already have all of the ingredients. And today's recipe is exactly that. This is a raspberry oatmeal muffin. And we're going to make 12 muffins. I have our muffin tin already, and these are silicone cups which are reusable, except for this one, which is paper, because I used to have 12 and now I only have 11, and I can only think that what happened was one of us threw it away after we ate a muffin sometime. So that's all ready to go. I also have all of our ingredients ready to go. Now, all of these things are out of our level 1 food storage, which is the integration of our refrigerator, our freezer, and our pantry. And I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for us to be integrating our freezer right along with everything else that we are working on for food storage. And with that, as you know, we need to figure out a way that we can power our freezers and actually our refrigerator as well in the event of a long-term grid out situation. And that's why we have our Bluettis, and we have shown those many times. I will put the most recent video that we did on how we use our Bluettis, including how we use them to keep our freezers powered. We have a different way of keeping our refrigerator powered in a grid down situation, but we want to spend the rest of our time today on this recipe. So from our food storage, from our pantry, I have pulled brown sugar, white winter wheat, and in place of old-fashioned oats, I have this rolled 6-grain cereal, which we absolutely love in place of just rolled oats. And then things like salt, and in here I have some baking powder and baking soda. My daughter just brought over a flat of eggs from her chickens, so we had those in our refrigerator. But I also have freeze-dried egg that I can also use in a recipe like this, and then other things from our pantry, vanilla and oil. So everything is from level 1, which makes it really nice. This is a great recipe. Oh, I forgot to show you the raspberries. This is 5 pounds of frozen raspberries, obviously from our freezer, and 5 whole pounds of I absolutely love raspberries. And not just because they're red, which is my favorite color, as you all know, but I just think they're the most delicious things ever. And Jim could have given me this for Christmas and I would have been just thrilled. But we have a 5-pound bag of raspberries and another one of blackberries. And so he got these. I think you got them at the restaurant store, didn't you?
I got those at the restaurant store when I went to Costco.
Okay, so Costco is another source for good frozen foods. Our restaurant store is just behind Costco, so sometimes when Jim goes out to shop at Costco, he'll swing by the restaurant store and pick up little prizes, and that was one. These raspberries, you can add either fresh or frozen. I have found in recipes like muffins where you have to stir the fruit in, using frozen raspberries is better because the raspberries don't break apart and then get lost in the dough. And we're going to be adding the frozen raspberries at the very end. We'll fold them in. And then after they are baked, they leave these little pockets of moist raspberries, which, oh, just melt in your mouth. These are wonderful. All right, so the first thing to do is to mix the dry ingredients. The recipe, by the way, will be below the description of the video. So you can just copy it and paste it onto a separate sheet and then add that to your own collection. So the dry ingredients include 1 cup of, and you can use old-fashioned oats, or if you have a multi-grain rolled oat combination, that will work as well. So I'm going to use 1 cup of our 6-grain rolled cereal. It calls for 1 cup of milled white wheat. I happen to keep extra flour that when I mill some, if I have extra, I keep it in a baggie in the top. I'm thinking I'm going to have a cup here. We'll see.
No,
It is. That's just about perfect. So there's a little bit left. I'm going to put that right back in here with the other wheat. And then with the brown sugar, I already have it measured out. It is right here. So, and it's been sitting out for just a few minutes, and we live in the desert, so it already has gotten some, boy, it's already dried. Wow. I guess it's been sitting out for maybe an hour. That's incredible that it got this dry in just such a short time. I'll have to make sure that this is all broken up when we mix it all together.
put some water in it.
I could, yes. Okay, so let me just check here. Oh, and then I need a half a teaspoon of salt. So I do need to take care of this brown sugar. So we'll be back in just a minute after I have done that. So here, now what I did was I just put those lumps of brown sugar in this cup with a few drops of water. Very, very little water. I'm not going to add that yet because I need to whisk the dry ingredients together, but I'll add that when I add the wet ingredients. And then here I have the teaspoon of baking powder, half teaspoon of baking soda. Now, whenever you add baking soda to a recipe like this, what it means is you are going to add something that is a little bit high in acid. And so we'll get to what that is for this recipe in just a minute. But just know that the baking soda is for the acid, and the acid is going to come in the dairy. So I'm going to mix these dry ingredients together, set that bowl aside, and then we're going to work on the wet ingredients. So here is 1 egg, and that egg is at room temperature. A teaspoon of vanilla, we're going to add 1/3 of a cup of vegetable oil. I'm using avocado oil. It's a very mild oil. 1/3 of a cup. Is that right? And for the dairy, we have a choose your own adventure. We need 1 cup of dairy, and the recipe gives 3 options. You can either use, and remember, we're using food storage ingredients, so you could use reconstituted 1 cup of powdered milk with a tablespoon of lemon, and that is for the extra acid. Or you could use 1 cup of buttermilk, and we do freeze-dried buttermilk, so I could reconstitute a cup of that buttermilk and have that. Or we could use what I'm going to do today, which is 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt. Now those all have extra acid. That is what the baking soda is for, is to activate that. So I think I have a cup here. We'll see. I'm down to my last little bit. Still not a cup. So what I'm going to do is put in a little bit of sour cream, which is also acidic. And that will take us to a cup. Yes. So putting that in here. So now I'm going to whisk the wet ingredients together. And to that, I'm going to add our little bit of brown sugar with a few drops of water. All right, now adding the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. And mixing this together. This comes together so fast. And we are going to put in a cup of our frozen raspberries. Oh no, I got more than a cup. Oh dear. Oh well. All right, so there's our mixture. Now, had those been fresh raspberries, that mixture would be pink, and the raspberries would have been crushed into the mixture. And it would have been delicious anyway, but this way the raspberries stay intact and give us little pockets of yummy raspberry flavor. So I'm just going to fill these muffin cups. The oven is preheating to 400, and when we're done, I'll bring you back and we'll get these in the oven. So here we have them all filled. I filled them to the top pretty much. This one is a little bit big, this is a little bit shy, so I may put some of that over there. But I'm gonna get these in the oven just as soon as the buzzer rings that the oven is finished, and we will bake them for 15 or 20 minutes until a toothpick comes out clean in the center, and we will be back. Well, these are just out of the oven, and as you can see, the extra raspberries did have an effect. You see the purple here. When I made my test run of these, there was no purplish stuff because I stuck to the 1 cup of raspberries. Also, a couple of them, or 3 or 4, have sunken a little bit because of the raspberries. So probably it would be a good idea to stick with the 1 cup of raspberries, but you know, I couldn't resist. So here they are. Ooh, that is really hot. I'm just gonna let them cool in the pan. With the nutrition that is in these muffins, these would make wonderful breakfast muffins. And actually a snack for any time. They're very moist. Well, these are exceptionally moist because of the extra raspberries. But you can see here the inside, what it looks like. Oh, they're so wonderful. So I'm just going to take this bite. Actually, I'm going to cut that in half so I don't burn myself. Oh, they're moist and delicious. I got a piece without any raspberry.
So I guess you'll have to go back and get some more.
Well, I can still taste the influence of the raspberry, though, so it's throughout.
Yeah.
So these will be just great. And the wonderful thing is, too, Jim and I have a hard time eating 12 muffins before they spoil, before they start to go bad. So I'll put half of them, once they've cooled completely, in a baggie and put them in the freezer. So we'll have 6 now, and then we'll have 6 for later, for whenever we would like to. But these, with a glass of milk, would be a perfect breakfast. Even a lunch, actually. So I hope that you try this recipe. I think you could also use other fruits as well besides raspberries. Blackberries would be good. Little chunks of apple would be good. So this is a really wonderful food storage recipe that is easy to make, goes together very fast, and carries a lot of nutrition with the with the whole rolled grain in there, whether you go with the old-fashioned oats or whether you have multi-cereal in rolled form. So thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that you have enjoyed this video, and we'll see you very soon for more.